Hello, this is Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel. When Governor Whitmer and I took office in January of 2019, we inherited some of the biggest and most significant lawsuits the state of Michigan has ever had, but none were as important as the litigation arising over the Flint Water Crisis. For years, the state has fought against more than 100 lawsuits in both state and federal court brought by the people of Flint related to the harms they suffered after the city's public water supply was switched to the Flint River. But the strength of a government is not measured by how long or hard it can fight against its people. The strength of a government is measured by how long and hard it will fight on behalf of its people. And that's why, after taking office, the governor and I made Flint water litigation a top priority for this administration. For the past 18 months, attorneys from this office, in concert with the court, appointed mediators, a special master, and the plaintiffs' attorneys have been hard at work to try to reach an agreement that would resolve all the lawsuits related to the state in this Flint water crisis. Today, I'm pleased to announce that after months of hard work, a preliminary settlement agreement has been reached between Plaintiffs' Counsel and the state of Michigan. This settlement provides $600 million for the people of Flint, and if agreed to by the plaintiffs and approved by the courts, it will likely be the largest settlement in the history of the state of Michigan. I'm also pleased to announce that by working with the legislature, we were able to craft a deal that, even with the current economic and budgetary challenges that lay ahead, is fiscally sound for the people of our state. Now, several things need to happen before this agreement can be finalized, and because of those steps, many of the details must remain confidential for the time being. But at this time, the agreements in place do not allow for me to provide in-depth details about this proposed settlement or answer the questions many of you likely have. However, what I can say is that a majority of the funds will be used to settle claims filed on behalf of the children of Flint. And that means that roughly 80% of the funding coming from this settlement will go to support Flint's future, the younger generations and children whose lives were changed by this tragedy. Providing relief for the families of Flint has been a top priority for me since before I took office, and this preliminary agreement is a step forward in the healing process for one of Michigan's most resilient cities. With this financial commitment, the state will have contributed more than $1 billion in aid to the city of Flint as it recovers from one of the most challenging periods in its history. The steps we've taken over the past 18 months have been focused on resolving the claims made against the state. However, the plaintiff's lawsuit filed against other entities will continue unless they decide to become part of this agreement. We hope those defendants will step up to join us in this settlement so that we can begin to move forward together to find the best possible resolution for the people of Flint. And my office's lawsuit against the engineering companies involved in the Flint water crisis will continue as we seek to make them pay for their share of any damage caused. In the coming weeks, more information will be made available to the public as we continue to work towards finalizing one of the most complex settlements in the history of our department. Understandably, a settlement of this magnitude raises several questions, but because of the ongoing process to finalize this deal through the courts, I'm not able to discuss the terms of the agreement in detail. However, let me be very clear. In the weeks ahead, I will provide more information to the public, and I plan to have robust conversations with the community as soon as I am able. But until then, I'd like to conclude by saying this. The residents of Flint have endured more than most, and to draw out the legal back and forth any longer would have achieved nothing but continued hardship. By settling these lawsuits, it's my fervent hope that we can begin the process of closing one of the darkest, most painful chapters in our state's history, and starting a new one that begins with a government that works on behalf of all of its people. Thank you.